draw wise, I'm sort of middle of the lake. Wind's going to me right, so that bottom end could be good, but this corner peg to me right actually won the last match. I know it's a good peg, it's got an aerator there, I think it's 5 and 7. Definitely a good area in the winter. I'm on 10. I've only ever been here once before doing a feature, and I actually come and sat in this area, and it was alright that day. We caught a few fish across and stuff. It's mad how you do that, you know, you go back to a venue and you basically draw the same area again, so reasonably happy, got a bit of room. We've all got sort of like 1 or 2 spare pegs either side, so yeah, it's not a massive lake. So, let me just get my rig ready. There we go, there's it all in. So, get some baiting down that edge. And start on my little winter Maggie style rig, sort of 18 inches deep. It's a little bit awkward fishing down my right edge, shallow. I always like to feed more to my left where it's a bit more open. I normally like to prime my shallow line, but I just feel like today, if it's as good as everybody says, you know, fishing like this, you might start catching pretty quickly. You're definitely not, it's sort of like 14-15 metres to get across. It's quite deep as well. I remember from last time being like 3 foot, so you're going to foul up fish, you're not going to be quick enough doing that. Keep a bit of bait there, we just had a little sign. Keep throwing a few casters down that right edge. I'm hoping I can catch a few on this. Try and work out what depth the fish are at. Little indication then on the drop. Try and work out what depth the fish are at, and then what I'm hoping is the last 2 hours, if we can catch them in this edge where we've got a bit of cover, you know, could have a real good spell down there. So at the minute I've just got banded caster on. Just had 2, that's the 3rd little indication I've had, just a little bit shallower than what my rig's at maybe. I spoke to Steve last time, he said they were swirling after 5 minutes, so fingers crossed. There we go. Oh, missed him. I've just got that little light rig on, just falling through slowly. Got a few different rigs today, some little dibbers. I've got an overshotted rig just in case. I've not set the jigger up, there's no rules here, so you can basically fish as short a line as you want.
Hi everyone, this clip was taken from our Match Focus website. I'm going to be adding a lot more content to our Match Focus YouTube channel, but if you'd like to watch the video in full, a more in-depth look at the rigs, the feeding, bait and decision making, then just head over to the website at matchfocus.co.uk. I'd really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe to our Match Focus YouTube channel, as it really does help us grow. I hope you enjoy watching the video.
And obviously initially I was slapping a lot. Caught a few fish like that. You know, sometimes you'll slap it, it'll go straight away. But what I found last 10 minutes or so, because it's bright, sometimes just leaving your rig still, and see there, just as a fed, you feed and the fish just rise up. Reminds me a little bit of like Westwood. So I've just had 10 minutes where I've just had a little good run there. Not moving the rig too much, just little lifts and drops. Not making too much commotion. You know, in peg might change in a bit. Every time I slap it I might get a bite and get one a chuck. If I had a ripple, I think it'd be a little bit different, but at the minute it seems best not to make too much commotion. decent stamp. They're probably, I don't know, £2 average, something like that. Casters are just a little bit on the small side. They're not lanes. That's why lanes casters are mega. This just be a little bit more noise, a little bit bigger. I wouldn't say it's a fish race, but you know, you need to be catching steady. I'm just losing my caster a few times in the band. Bit bigger caster, they'd probably stay a little bit better in the band, but I'm trying to pay attention to keeping that fish as still as possible once it's in the net, just so I can get another go on my caster. I tried a little bit of wormhead on a straight hook, just on a spade. It was rubbish, you couldn't believe it. Again, I might catch a few on it in a bit, but let's keep feeding that edge. I have seen a little bit of movement in that edge, so I had a quick go, got one first chuck, and then nothing. I'm just going to keep feeding that for, you know, this is well quick enough what I'm doing now. Don't need to see if I can keep that fish from thrashing. Ugh, you little bugger. See, my caster was fine then. It's just rolled and smashed my caster. If you can get them to behave in the net, you've got less chance of your bait coming off. The only other thing I've noticed straight away is, like, because it's like Westwood and the fish do come really high, I don't really fish 2-inch hook lengths anymore. But this is definitely a venue, because they come so high, where I would consider fishing a 2-inch hook length. I think that might have been a little bit better today. I haven't got any, so I can't do that, but that's what I'm thinking in my head. I've had a little go on an overshotted rig, never caught nothing on that, really strange. I thought I was just going to get one hook on it. Seems like just having your bait static is as good as anything at the minute. Set it to that depth where they're rising up to, sort of 10 inches deep. You know, they do come a little bit higher sometimes, but 10 inch seems to be the most consistent. Down there, no, not massive. Maybe I should have dropped on that on the bottom there last 10-15 minutes. I think that's about 111, 112 fish, so we'll get weighed in, we'll have a little conclusion afterwards.